Hi, Miss Gleason. Okay, so my lesson is over factoring quadratics, and first I was going to start with the steps on how to factor. So, for example, let's see here. Okay, when you're given in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, you find the two factors of a and c that add to equal b. And then this is how you factor. So we'll go to just an example. Ooh. Okay. So here we have the example. 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. So our 3 is our A term, our 4 is our B term, and our 1 is our C term. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the factors of 3 and 1 that add to equal 4. So we're going to draw our handy-dandy little X marks the spot, or X marks the answer, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to find factors. And these factors are 1 and 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to group the terms together, the first term and the second term. So we're going to take our 3x from here and group it with this 3. So we'll have 3x squared plus 3x. And then on this side, we're going to group this one with this one. So we'll have 1, or we'll just have x, because we can assume that the 1 in front of it is imaginary, plus 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to factor out the greatest common factor, or the binomial, that will make this work. So here, we're going to take out the biggest factor of 3x squared and 3x, which is 3. So we'll take out 3x. We'll keep an x here because when you multiply the x and the x together, you'll get x squared. So when you take out a number, you always add the x to it. So we'll take out the 3x, so we are left with just 3. Oops, sorry, not 3, 1, because 3 goes into itself one time. And then on this side, we don't need to take anything out because it cannot get any simpler. So we're just going to take out a positive 1. Now, when you're finished with this term and this term should be the same. That's how you can check yourself. If it's not the same, then you did something wrong. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this term that we took out of the first one and the term that we took out of the second one and add them together and put them in parentheses. And this is how we'll get our final answer. We'll get 3x plus 1. And then your second term will always be the term you got twice in both these. So it will be just 3x, x plus 1. And that would be your final answer. And that's simply how to do it. So now I'll show you some examples. Here's an easy example. We'll start with x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, so now we're going to find two factors of 6, 1 times 6, that add to equal 5. So these factors, two factors, add to equal 5, are 2 and 3, because they multiply together to equal 6 and add together to equal 5. So we'll group our terms together our first term and our first term, we'll get x squared plus 3x. And then we'll group our second term, our 6 and our 2. And we'll get 2x plus 6. And then we'll take out our greatest common factor. X squared, we can't take out anything except for x, which is just 1x. So we're left with x plus 3. This, however, we can take out a number. The greatest common factor of 2 and 6 is 2. So we'll take out 2, positive 2, and we're left with x plus 3. So these terms were the same, so we know we did it right. So now we're going to group these two terms and then add them with the term we got twice. So we'll have x plus 2, x plus 3. And that's your final answer. Let's go on to another problem. This is more of a medium problem. We have 4x squared plus 11x minus 3. We're going to find two factors of negative 12 that add to equal 11. Now these factors can be 12 and negative 1. So we'll group our terms together. 4x squared plus 12x from here and here. And then we'll group our second terms. Negative x minus 3 from here and from here. We'll take out our greatest common factor, 4x, x. If you take 4 out of 12, you are left with 3. And to get this one to equal the same, we're going to have to take out a negative 1. So we'll take out the negative 1 of this, so we're just left with x and positive 3, which is the same. So we know we did it right. And then we'll group them together. 4x minus 1, which we got from here. And then we'll add our x plus 3. And that will be your final answer. Okay, now for the last problem. It's more of a trickier one. We have 6x squared minus 9 equals 25x. Now what we have to do is factors are always set equal to 0, or else they won't work. You can never find a factor if it's not set equal to 0. So what we have to do here is set this equation equal to 0. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to minus 25x from both sides. So we're left with 6x squared minus 25x minus 9 equals 0. And now we can start factoring. So we'll draw our little x to help us find our factors. And we're finding two factors of negative 54 because 6 times negative 9 is negative 54. Negative 54. That add to equal negative 25. These factors are negative 27 and 2. So we'll group our terms. We have 6x squared plus, minus 27x, and then our 2x minus 9. Now we'll take our greatest common factors. Our greatest common factors of 6 and 27 is 3. So we'll take out 3x, and we're left with x minus 9. And our greatest common factor, 2x minus 9, because if you take 3 out of 6, you're left with 2 left over. So it's 2x minus 9. And then on this, we can't take out anything because it already equals this, so we know we're correct. 2x minus 9. And 2 and negative 9 have no factors that will equal each other. So we'll group our two terms together. Our double term and our term from factoring. So here we'll write our final answer. And all we have is 3x plus 1 and 2x minus 9. And then that will be your final answer. Thanks for listening. Sorry for sitting through that. I bet it was kind of boring, but thank you for listening. Have a great day.